What up, y'all? It's Dom, and today I'm taking a look at the best budget half shell case for the Leica Q and Leica Q2. Let's get into it. So you may have a Leica Q or a Leica Q2, and of course you love the look of these leather half cases. I mean, how could you not? Look how cool they look with these leather half cases on. It was one of the first accessories I looked for when picking up a Leica Q, but I quickly found myself in shock and awe over the freaking price of these leather half shell cases. And just like a basic case for like $240, ranging all the way up to like $800-900 for some of these handcrafted leather half shell cases, which are actually pretty freaking sweet. I looked on Amazon or I Google searched a lot of affordable half shell cases and I came up with not a lot, to be honest with you. And the ones that I did come up with, I was super skeptical about buying. But I did find one, I did order it, and that's what I'm talking about today. That was a super long intro. Shut up and get to the point. It is called the Mega Gear MG1401 for the Leica Q or Leica QP. I'm also reviewing the exact same case for the Q2. It's called the Mega Gear MG1721 genuine leather half shell case for the Q2. I'm gonna provide links to both of these below. So if you guys want to check them out or read the reviews, there weren't very many reviews on here, which is why I decided to make this video. I'm going to start with the Leica Q case first. It is leather, I will say that. That's my first remark. It is leather. It's not like the most buttery, smooth, high quality leather you're going to find. It feels a little bit of like that plasticky leather. I don't know how to explain it. It's got like a sheen finish on it. And it just feels a little bit cheap, like, you know, cheap leather. Well, it is cheap leather. Out of the box, all the stitching was quite nice. It was finished off nicely, no complaints there. It does have this little snap and open compartment on the bottom, and that is to access the battery and SD card slots in the Leica Q. This is the first flaw I have with this case when I bought it. The first time I put it on, I unsnapped it, opened it up, and tried to open the battery door, and it got stuck on the side wall. Now, I can't demonstrate it for you because I actually fixed it. I took my little pocket knife and I shaved down some of the excess leather inside this opening, but it didn't fit perfectly when buying it. I did have to do that to open up that little small opening so that the door opens up. Super easy to do. You could do it with scissors or any pocket knife, so shouldn't be a discouragement or a red flag enough to cause you to not buy it. Also, it fits pretty flush on the Q. You could see there is some gaps on the side, but not enough to make me say that it doesn't. It's snug on either side, but it definitely, you can tell, was made for this camera. The bottom panel in the back, the leather comes up right below the screen, so it fits nicely there. And it hugs the front lens quite nicely, so no complaints there. I really like the little bump grip that they have in there. It's soft, it's cushiony, so you could push on it. It's got some give, but it's enough of a bump to give me a nice little grip in the front, to give me some tactile feel, to make it more secure when I'm shooting. Screw on the bottom, it's screwed in nicely. It doesn't strip. It has a nice little groove for a flathead screwdriver. I can also use it with like a quarter, which I really liked. It's thick enough to be able to throw a coin in there to be able to screw and unscrew. Not that really I would ever take this half shell off. I mean, there's really no reason for me to remove it off the camera, so I love having it on the camera at all times. I do have some complaints. The stitching is a little bit suspect on the panel where it meets in the back of the camera. The bottom stitch, when I got it, it looks a little bit loose, like it's not finished off tightly, and that can maybe unravel and come out in future. I don't know. I can update you guys if it does, but so far so good. Also in the front, looking from a top-down view, the case on the right is nicely flush where the grip is on the right of the lens, but on the left, it doesn't really wrap around to be flat. So if something, you know, were to get in the top of the camera or fall from the top, I guess it could get lodged in between the case and the body, which is, you know, a little bit annoying, but not enough of a deal breaker for me not to recommend. All right, up next, I want to look at exactly what came in the box. So opening up, it says Mega Gear. It looks like a sunglass case. Came with a little tissue. Of course, the case was in here, but it also comes a bit of documentation. It actually looks like some nice branding. Let's open this up. Some images, and then it shows you some directions on how to add the camera strap, which comes next in here. Now, spoiler alert, I've already opened this camera strap and I hate it. I don't recommend it at all. I definitely recommend the Leica camera strap that comes with your Leica Q or Q2. So it's kind of cheap looking. I don't really like the thickness of it. And then it's got these like nylon pieces, canvas pieces on the end, which I think just destroys the whole aesthetic of the whole look. It kind of looks like a backpack strap, so freaking garbage. I hate it. The one thing I did like that it comes with these little key rings, and then leather keyring covers. And these leather covers are supposed to protect the camera from where your camera strap meets the camera body. And I love that because the Leica Qs and Q2s are notorious on the used market for having scratch marks around the ring holders where the camera strap mounts. And that's because the rings that hold the camera straps can scrape against the metal body and they end up making scratches. So these little leather protectors can really do a really good job protecting your camera from being scratched. However, I haven't figured out how to really mount it. As you could see on my Q2, it protects from the ring, but I haven't figured out how to really mount that properly. I'm still figuring that out. The directions weren't really clear, so this may involve a small zip tie or something. That's all that comes in the box. So that's it for that. All right, let's talk about the Q2. Now this is the dark green leather case I bought for my Q2, and I was actually really stoked to see this because the green leather is freaking beautiful in my opinion. I love the way it looks. It looks super cool. So when I saw it, it was really nice. However, this Q2 half leather case fits a lot worse than Leica Q. It seems like it's not wide enough on the body, as you can see, so it like bows out a little bit. It doesn't hug the body like it does on the Q. Again, I had some issues with the battery not popping. Actually, no, the battery popped out just fine. The battery compartment on the bottom of this lens was totally fine. It was the SD card slot was a little bit narrow as well, so I did have to open that up. I think I just used scissors to cut away a little bit of that excess leather that was on the bottom. This Q2 case does not come with a little grip, a bump on the front for a grip, so that was a little bit disappointing. I wish it had that. I do like the way that looks. Also, the leather stitching on this one also is a little bit suspect at the seam at the back. So something to be aware of there. Now, in terms of function, these two cases do a good job. They do protect the camera from scrapes, from dents, if you drop it, it will give you some protection. And that's really all the purposes of these cases. They look good, they fit good enough to do the job, and hell, for the price, why wouldn't you freaking buy one? I think for this Q2, the MG 1401, I paid $13.37? $13.57. $13.57. That's freaking unbelievable. For the Q2, I paid a little bit more. It was $26.99. Really splurged there. $26.99. And although I am a little bit unhappy with the fit and finish of the Q2 case, it's still cheap enough to do the job and look good enough where I'm gonna keep it on. It protects the camera and I'm not worried enough where I can beat up the case, throw it out, and just buy one every year if I wanted to. So highly recommend these. If you have a Q or Q2 and you don't have a case on there, go buy one now. These look good, they protect it, and they will save you from a lot of tears if you end up scraping that Q or Q2 and then you can't get your money back on the used market. So that's all I got for this review. I hope they provided you with some value. If they did, hit me with a thumbs up. Subscribe for more awesome videos. If you want, check out this review on my Leica Q. I'm coming out with a review for my Q2 soon. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Hit those links below if you want to buy one of these. It really helps me out as a small-time YouTuber. I appreciate you guys. Talk to you soon. Peace.